Hello, everyone. So, I wanted to share with you today. I found my coffee cup journal, which is my very first journal from when I really started sort of figuring it all out, activated my Kundalini, cleared my chakras, did all my shadow work, was getting a lot of downloads, a lot of connection to spirit, a lot of my gifts started opening up, so on and so forth. And I was actually looking through this to find my drawing where I was shown all of the wormholes that connect the 9 dimensions that we exist within and that are accessible to us. And a lot of this stuff is the stuff that's going into the book that I'm writing. It's called A Star Child Speaks. Um, but I thought I'd share a little bit of it with you because it's really great information that I was given. So, and I feel like all of this was um, either channeled directly through God or channeled through Archangel uh, Uriel, who is the keeper of the wisdom. But I only found that out recently that it was Uriel that I was speaking with because he and they would only refer to themselves as the collective of the curators or the custodians and just leave it at they left it at that for a long time. Then they informed me that it was curators of wisdom and keepers of the wisdom, custodians of the wisdom, that kind of thing. But anyway, I digress. Um, these are excerpts from 1999. Your conscience is the measure of the honesty of your selfishness. So listen carefully. Learning is finding out what you already know because you already have it within your DNA memory. Doing is demonstrating that you now remember that you know it, which is being active and giving back, paying it forward. And teaching is reminding others that they too know just as well as you. And therefore, we are all learners, doers, and teachers. Your only obligation in any lifetime is to be true to yourself, which is a hard task. Being true to anyone else or anything else is not only impossible, but the mark of a fake. You teach best what you most need to learn. And for me, I most needed to learn self love, self acceptance, all of the science that we weren't offered in school because I really needed to understand how things work. So I learned a lot of quantum physics and other uh, um, physics, other science to help me to understand better how and why everything works the way it does. Um, Here's another good one. Live never to be ashamed of anything that you say or do that could be published around the world, even if what is published is not true. Now, a lot of people might be stumped by that one, but if you live by your true, authentic self, then no matter what someone could say or publish about you, others would know that that isn't true because they know the authentic you. Be careful what you wish for, yet ask and you shall receive. And if you wish enough, it will be yours. And it is not selfish to ask for joy in specific ways. Always practice what you preach. All have the power within them to really control the wants and desires. But you must first be able to put all negative doubts aside in order for the universe to answer your call of your wishes. Intent follows will, action follows your true wishes, but only the correct action will occur if you are 100% sure that it will. You have to have faith. You have to truly know it, believe it with all of your being. We are all vessels for God and to God. We all have the same qualities and gifts. Just some are stronger than others at their gifts, but all people, all souls can be psychic, can be a medium, can be telepathic, are energy readers. Just some are more subtle qualities than others. And if you practice and you work with it, you can obtain it. You can master it. Our Creator works through us, but only after we surrender to that with complete faith and zero doubt. It's always our choice, and we must allow it to be so. He is the host of all hosts, but you still have to give permission for the host to work through you. We all live at one time in one universe, but we all also have and live in completely different worlds with completely different lives. I live in this world with the same architects and lawyers and judges and superstars and doctors and so on and so forth that you live in, the same world you live in with those same people. But I do not live in their world, nor do they really exist or live in mine. We all have many journeys and many lifetimes within just one lifetime journey. So, and yet we're all connected and everything is connected, past, present, future, of all of those different odds of probability, I guess, is maybe how I would word that. Like the many worlds theory, but multiverse level in the sense that, well, I'll just take my own life, for example. I've been married 5 times. So essentially, I've had 5 different lives right there, right? Because with each husband, it was a different type of lifestyle. It was a different everything. Everything about it was totally different. Anytime I was single, that was a whole different journey. That was a whole different lifetime, if you will, right? A whole different experience. So all of these different experiences, even childhood, teenage years, all these different phases of our life, these different roads we take, these different avenues we take, however you want to word that, is a stockpile of multidimensional lessons as well within it. Um, the bond that links you to your true family is not one of blood, but of respect and joy in each other's life. And that is essentially how we find our soul family and our soul tribe. And another way to look at that is rarely do members of one family um, truly grow up under the same roof. Um, Here's another one. Imagine the universe, beautiful and just and perfect. And then remember one thing for sure, the creator has imagined it quite a bit better than you have, but also that you are just and beautiful and perfect as well, because you were imagined and created into life by our creator. And essentially, we are all part of the one, part of the whole. Come on, Stanley. You are led through your lifetime by your inner learning creature, your playful spiritual being. Don't turn away from possible futures before you are certain that you don't have anything there to learn from. You're always free to change your mind and choose a different future or a different past. There is no such thing as a problem without a gift for you in its hand. And I really like that one a lot. And by the way, I don't know how many of you know that I have these 111 cards, tarot cards that I use. They're oracle cards. There's literally 111 cards here, and I hand wrote these. And a lot of what I hand wrote came from my wisdom that was downloaded and given to me by God. And then the others I sat and meditated on them and wrote the rest. But there was never a plan to only have 111 or specifically 111 cards. That literally is just how many I ended up with. I heard the voice in my head that said, buy these cards so that you can make your own because I have something to say. So I just trust that kind of stuff and I just did it. And at first I'm like, okay, I don't know, he's not telling me what he's wanting to say. So, oh, I remember. I'm going to thumb through my journal here and take some of these things that he's told me and I'm going to put them on there. And then I literally sat and waited maybe 2 weeks worth of meditation before I heard anything else. And then it all started like flowing. And I just started like writing these cards down and zipping them off across the table. And I lived with my cousin then, and she's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And I told her, and she's like, "Pretty cool." And so then when I was done, she helped me count them, and it was 111. So that's why I named them the 111 deck. But they came from this. They started out coming from this book. A lot of what's on the cards is from the book. So yeah, I don't even. That's just something I just happen to think of because they're just sitting right here. But anyway, where am I in this book? Ah, yes. We actually seek problems because we need the gifts that they have for us in them. And for a long time, I didn't understand that one, but that's kind of the same as we teach what we most needed to learn, right? Because it's not that we realize that we're seeking problems. But when we tend to have issues repeated issues that come up in our life, similar things, similar patterns of behavior from people that were around or our behavior or whatever, those are lessons for us to learn something about us, right? Like maybe you've got some childhood trauma that you need to release. Maybe you don't have very good self esteem, or you have trust issues and you need to get to the root of that so that you can release it and heal it. But these are, every issue is truly like a lesson and a blessing, a lesson and a blessing, as I say in my Southern voice, um, for us to learn from. So if you walk through life daily with that kind of knowing, then you don't have fear and you don't have anxiety and you don't have the worry and you don't have the nervous stomach and you don't have the sleepless nights and things like that. So um, it's very liberating. It's very liberating to shift your perspective and understand that any kind of problem is really a gift because it's a lesson that's a blessing in disguise. Um, so argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they're yours. And if you believe you have boundaries, then you most certainly will. And if you believe that there are none, there absolutely will be none. And I say this often, that we are only as limited as we tell ourselves we are. And that is the truth. I've tested that. You are never given a wish without also being able to make it true. Um, However, you may have to work for it. But essentially, if you make a wish and you fully believe with zero doubt that you will get that wish, then you absolutely will get that wish. And that's why it's important that we've passed down these sayings through our generations of stuff like be careful what you wish for, and mind your thoughts, because thoughts are what creates emotion, is the action of it. The thought is the focus of it. And if you fully mean it and fully believe it, then there's zero doubt to it. And that's the magic trinity of it. Um, that just reminded me of something in the beginning of my book here somewhere that I wanted to. Where was it at? Oh, it is this page. Okay. I want to read some of these too because this is literally on the front cover of my book, the very first downloads that I ever got. So it says mystics or seers use their third eye or intuitive discernment of the infinite. Enthusiasm redefined means the God within us. Freedom, liberation is knowing and owning the knowledge that you truly have the power to change things. Do not try to use your own will to bring things into existence. Instead, use your knowing. And again, that goes back to that faith, zero doubt faith, that you know it's possible, no limits. It says, ask and you will receive, but only with the proper focus, the strong emotion, the true desire to obtain it, without ego and without lack or begging or doubt, zero doubt, having faith that you will receive of the asking, sometimes right away, sometimes in due time. But patience is key here because patience is part of the zero doubt and just knowing, right? The faith of it. It's not about wondering how you get what path you take to get from point A to point B. It's just knowing that you're going to arrive at point B, period. It's that simple. Um, it's also important to mention that you have to be free of guilt in what you request. Be at peace with it within yourself in the asking and the state of knowing that it will come. Be grateful and thankful to the Creator for all of the days of all of your days every day as a true blessing, food included, big and small. Be thankful. Be thankful that He is so abundant to split all of us apart and share in this joy of creation that He has created. Because through us is how He receives the joy of His creations. When we are joyful, He is joyful. And the same is for sadness. If we are sad, He feels the sadness. So deter from the negative thoughts and the negative things, because essentially you are not harming just you, you're harming the collective, which is harming the Creator. Um, Also, practice being constant in your thanking and gratefulness. This will keep you always connected with God. Act with purpose and good intent in everything, every word, every deed that your energy is used for. Be fruitful and complete in your tasks. Do everything wonderfully. Do all that you can do in every day, but also with pace. Do not overexert your energy. Be truthful to yourself and to your deeds that are required. Your conscience, God will know of any dishonest or incomplete tasks, words, thoughts, deeds. And do them all without competition and with full creativity, which means joy. Do them with joy. Just like I was saying in another episode the other day, that when we do things in service of others, when we help someone out, when we give them something, when we um, even just give them our time, don't do them with expectations. Do them with love and with joy. Do them because you want to help, to be genuinely helpful of them, not because you have some ulterior motive to get something in return, you know? Doing all things in this way, right way of thinking will give you what you truly desire. Staying connected to God brings it full circle and keeps the blessings coming. And that's very, very true. Um, Essentially, without ego, without premise, without malice intent, by just being genuine and helping others and being of service to others, you are in turn blessing yourself. Because what you put out into the universe with your energy is what you are going to get more of. And so, if you're focused on good things and you're focused on positivity and joy and being present in the moment and really honoring what needs to be done to help someone and doing it fully, doing it wholly, then you're putting that type of energy signature alchemically out into the universe for that data to be received and fed back to you in abundance for yourself as well in different ways, multiple beautiful ways. So it really is a win-win because we are symbiotic to one another, if that makes sense. So yeah, what else do we have here? Mm. We decide our own fate. If we are fearful of any specific thing to come, then fear will bring those things to us. If we are sure of our own choices, we are sure of our own outcome as well. Thoughts matter. They determine where we are, where we will be, where we have gone before, and where we are headed in our future, literally, as a collective. The truth you speak has no past or future. It just is, and that is all it needs to be. Your truth. Uh, this is one that was given to me when I was questioning a lot. How will I know when I have fulfilled my mission? Because in my mind, since the Great Awakening would begin somewhere in my late 40s, the way I was looking at it, probably by maybe my 60s, my mission here would be complete or whatever. And the answer that I got back very loudly was because my spirit guide has a sense of humor. He says, here's a test to see whether your mission on earth is finished. If you're alive, it isn't. It was that simple, very loud and that simple. Um, we're all free, truly free, free to do whatever we want to do, but we forget that we have a choice, especially when bad things happen. We forget that we chose on some level to allow that bad thing to happen to us and to view it as a bad thing. Because the more control you have over your thoughts and the more control you have over your emotion and your awareness, the more control you have, period. This is a nice one. The world is your exercise book, the pages on which you do your thumbs. It is not reality. Although you can express reality there if you wish, you are also free to write nonsense, lies, or to tear the pages even. People decide their rights and wrongs, not God. He is all forgiving to all. And the kicker here is we don't even have to ask. And so, and this for me was huge to get that download and to really have to figure out what that meant, right? Because I was raised Southern Baptist and I was raised that Jesus is our Savior and that He died on the cross for our sins and all of these things. And of course, those things didn't make a lot of sense to me, but it was still my faith, right? I mean, it was what I was taught to believe in and to not question. And so I really struggled with this one for a little while because it didn't seem right to me that bad people can just be bad and then at the end of it all, it's okay and we're all going to the same place. But now, in my new perspective of seeing things, I can understand that no matter how bad it sucks to us as a human to look at it this way, from the higher perspective, from a higher soul perspective, the bad people have their role to play and the good people have their role to play, and we choose which role we want to play, and those roles can even change from time to time throughout our whole life. You know, we sometimes we can be the villain, sometimes we can be the victim, sometimes we can be neutral and be like Switzerland, but it's always our choice. It's always our choice which role we play. We weren't taught from children to be aware that we have the choice in all things. You know, similarly to how you could say, um, let's say you have an abusive alcoholic father, okay, and you can grow up and you can choose to either be someone who continues that cycle and you're an alcoholic abusive person as well, or you could choose to be the victim mentality in that, to where your inner child is so hurt that um, those type of personas tend to be drawn into your life and reflected upon over and over and over with repeated lessons until you learn how to heal from the experiences you went through as a child, and so on and so forth. Or you could choose to be neither one at all and understand that this was just who your father was, and that it doesn't affect you personally for who you will be as a soul or an adult or any of the above. And so it's always a choice, right? Just like when, let's say you find out your friend did something behind your back and you are the one that chooses. Do you retaliate? Do you turn the other cheek? Do you just stop being their friend? Do you confront them over it and tell them how you feel about it and then walk away? You know, whatever situation it is, we choose. We always choose. Inevitably, it's always our choice, no matter what. And there is no right or wrong in that. We do this to experience life, and um, that is God's intention when He created us, was to experience all these different aspects of life and how they can affect you and stuff. And certainly, it hurts God. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. Um, but he's not judging us the way we were taught that He's judging us. And essentially, at the end of the lifetime of each physical life, you're judging and gauging yourself. And that inevitably is when God is the judgment of our deeds. And He's not judging our deeds as if He's looking at someone else and their deeds. He's looking at the choices that were made by Him, essentially, if you will. He's looking at it from a first person perspective, that, okay, this is where this could have been different, or this is where this could have been different. And we're all learning, engaging, and experiencing this type of creation, which is multifaceted. And that's the point of the collective coming back together and vibrating at a higher frequency, because this has been so incredibly hurtful in all of our experiences culminated that affects God, because God is ultimately who experiences all of these multiple camera lenses all at once. And so it's time to, rein this in and end some of this hurtfulness, this struggle that's here. So I hope that all made sense to people. All right, I'm gonna read a couple more and then I'll go ahead and close. In order to live truly free and happy, you must be willing to sacrifice boredom. And this is not always an easy sacrifice. And in that one, I will leave you with this. When we know how to put down all of our gadgets, our phones, our computers, our iPads, our laptops, whatever we have, and we can go sit quietly with ourselves with nothing else to do but just be present, even if it's not in nature, just being quiet and present with yourself. This is when the soul has time to become aware and become more fully conscious and to start reflecting and realizing where it is that we could improve to grow further or whatever. And so, in doing those things, in learning those things, and improving your inner world, this is how we take the shackles off of our mind being the puppet master of our avatar, and we find true freedom and true happiness. And thought is the most powerful catalyst of any energy there is. I know a lot of people want to say love is the most powerful thing, but love is something that comes from the emotional intention of that thought. So, thought is the fuel behind any intention, whether it's love or anger or greed or shame or anything. Thought is the most powerful, and thought is faster than the speed of light. All right, I'm going to leave that there. And as usual, I'm going to do the little spiel that I really don't like to do, but is necessary um, to help the channel to grow and to get the algorithms up and share this message and share this channel with the world. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a subscriber of mine, I am ever so grateful to you for taking the time to listen to my messages and my guests and all that I offer to the world. Hit that like notification because that's what gets the algorithms up so that more people can find my channel. If you would like to be on my channel and share your story of your journey or just have a conversation with me and do some coffee talk or something, where is my Deja Brew cup? Here it is. Deja Brew, coffee talk. Um, or yeah, you just want to, get a hold of me, be friends, or you need any of my services, you can go to the website. I have a free forum, completely free to join. No censorship, no judgment, lots of truth stuff. I would love to get the forum going and build a community online where we have a place to gather that's, for lack of a better term, the snowflakes phrase, it's a place. It's a safe space where like-minded people can gather and talk freely and not worry about judgment or or censorship or anything like that. So I would really love to see that going. God said to build it and they will come. So I'm just waiting with the doors open for y'all to get there. All right. Until next time, be well, be blessed, in love and light. Take care.